Hey, good morning and welcome to JD Tommy T3 here recording on Farming Simulator 25. This is my first Let's Play and a little bit about my channel. I want to do some fun Farming Simulator activities on FS25 and kind of show you guys my way of playing some of my favorite mods. You won't find anything groundbreaking on here, just a fun way to play. My channel will be doing some 64th model scale building, FS25, and a lot of John Deere content. I'm a big John Deere fan, and hopefully there's a lot of you out there that feel the same way. I'll try and incorporate some other forms of equipment here, some other brands as we go along. So, kind of give you guys some equal play time for those of you that aren't as big a John Deere fans as me. But I'll be showing you some of my favorite mods and what I like to use and how I like to play. Let's get started. So, we're going to start out here, career, and I'll show you guys some of my favorite maps as we go along. I like to start from scratch. I don't need a starting loan, and I'll show you guys why. We're gonna make this easy to start out with. I don't want a starting farm, and I don't need the intro tour. Let's pick a fun map. A little history on me. I am from Michigan, and I love the Michigan maps. They provide a lot of diverse farming situations, and they've got some great maps here for us to play on, especially starting from scratch. I think we've got her set up. Let's go ahead and start. I've got a lot of mods loaded, and I find them everywhere I can. You gotta be careful out there. Trust your mod source. And later on, I'll show you guys some places where I like to go and get my mods. And also, I can show you guys how to modify your mods. I'll be honest, I like to play unrealistically. I like some unrealistic farms and unrealistic farming situations. But we'll also do some real farming here too. And while this loads, we'll discuss. The first thing I like to do is get all my settings correct. As soon as it starts, I want to give a quick shout out to my boys Drake, Crew, Brooks, and Ronan. Hope you guys are joining me this morning. As we go along, we'll do some live plays too. We'll stream live. I love comments, love questions, and I love interaction. Feel free, you guys, drop me a line. You can also email me. You can reach me at jdtommyt3@gmail.com. You can also comment on the site. Give me a thumbs up, give me a like if you enjoy the content. Tell me ways I can improve, make this more fun for you guys. Alright, it's loading. I'm excited. This is my first foray into this. I've never done a YouTube video. I've started to create some content on my 64 model building, which you guys will see up on my site here shortly. So that'll be fun. And we'll do a lot of these different maps, different situations, and this one here, we're just gonna have fun. Here we go, we're off to the races. And if you guys have any questions on what I'm doing, feel free to hit me up. Ask me, if you're not sure. I've been playing Farming Simulator for years, all the way back. I think it was FS15 I started, all the way on to FS25 now. So I've been playing it on my PC. I find this is the best way. I know there's a lot of console players out there. I love PC because I'm such a John Deere fan that I can find all the great John Deere mods out there. Alright, we're loaded. You can see I am a John Deere fan. I've already got my outfit designed. I'm going to confirm that. And here we go. Alright, I'm going to take a look around. First thing I like to do is adjust my speed. I like to be able to move quickly around the map. I also need to adjust our settings. I like to do this in the very beginnings because I can't stand the autosave feature. I like to be able to save it on my own. When I'm starting out, I like to have it in real time, so I have as much time to scan and build before all the crops start taking off and I have to immerse myself in farming activities. Economic traffic on, seasonal growth. I like 2 days per month. I find that's just a good time scale to use. We do like snow. Crop destruction. Oh, I can't stand that mod. Step on a field and you're destroying crops. You'll see I'm not the most finesse driver either. A little history on me. My dad was a John Deere dealer growing up. I grew up around all the ag equipment. That's where my love for John Deere and farming comes from. Periodic plowing, I do like to have that on. Stones get in our way. We're going to start out no weeds. Disaster destruction. That's a new feature on FS25. We'll leave that enabled. Dirt, normal. I can't stand the automatic engine start. I like to be able to get in and start my tractor myself. Stop and go braking, trailer fill limit, fuel usage. I always turn that to high to make it more realistic. And I turn it off on the AI workers. But I leave everything else where they buy it as they go. Alright. Looks like we've got everything. Perfect. We'll back out of here. We'll save. Save frequently and often. I love this game, but it's not perfect. Sometimes I found either some mods I've downloaded or just regular gameplay. Sometimes the game will freeze, you'll lose everything. So if you save frequently, you won't have to go back if anything happens. Alright, let's find our place on the map where we're at. Looks like we're up there. Now, I'm going to cheat a little bit. This is my favorite starting spot. I've played this map before. I love this starting spot here. But I always make a few modifications. So we are going to go into our build menu. And I'm going to enter demolition mode. First thing I do is get rid of my house. I don't need the house. Oh, I gotta buy the land first. That would help, wouldn't it? So we are going to first buy the land. I get a little overzealous sometimes. 133,000. Not bad for a piece of property with all that land, a house, and several barns. So now that we've got that started. Alright. Now this is where my unrealistic gameplay starts. We need some money. Well, how do we get money? Well, I have a very rich aunt and uncle that are going to give me some starting change. Yeah, you read that right. They gifted me $50 million to go ahead and start the farm of my dreams. Awfully generous aunt and uncle. Want to give them a shout out. Aunt Kim, Uncle Jeff, love you guys. Alright, so there we go. We now own this piece of land. And we are going to start out. I'm going to buy this property here. And this is going to be our main farm. So, what we got growing here? Green beans. We might change that. I also, starting out, like to adjust some of my crops. And you see green beans, some stuff. I'm a very traditional farmer. I like my grains, my wheat, my oat. I love soybeans and corn. So, we're going to go back to our build menu here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to deconstruct our house. Don't worry, we are going to have a house. We're going to build our own. But not there. Alright, we got that started. Just looking across here. I like these barns. I like that placement. Alright, we got some good barns set up there. So, one thing we do need to do is get rid of some trees here. So let's buy us a chainsaw. Oh, chainsaws. I am a big fan of Steel. I think they got some great chainsaws. Husqvarna's another great one. McCulloch, they're awesome. Oh, there we go. A nice big chainsaw. Let's see. Ported and whatnot. Alright, let's get this one here. Well, yes, we'll purchase it. That's an expensive chainsaw, but it's going to come in handy. Alright. So we're going to load our chainsaw. We're not going to cut down much with our flashlight. There we go. Taking down trees. Starting out, I just like to clear them. Later on, cut down trees, we'll actually log in the money. But right now, we'll just get them out of our way. There we go. While we're moving around here, let's open up our barns. I do have some favorite barns in this game that we're going to incorporate. I love the sound effects in this game. They are so good. The sound of those doors opening. Alright, another big barn. Turn on those lights. And I love to hear us running the pitter-patter of our feet. You can tell I've played this for a while. I know where all the light switches are right off the bat. Here's an empty room, changing closet maybe, I don't know. Be anything we want because we're playing how we want to play. Not by any rules, just having fun. Good room there. One thing you'll see, I love my barns and sheds. So we got this started good. Now, we got some good space over here, but I know from experience we're going to need some more room. So we're going to go to our build menu, and we are going to do some painting. Get some grass, make big, and we're going to get rid of some of this field. Just paint right over it. Now sometimes, if this was a field with like anything other than green beans where I need specialty equipment, if it was a field of oats or wheat, I would go ahead and farm it first. And clear the field before I started doing this. Kind of get that first crop off. But since it's green beans and I need the specialty equipment, you guys can do however you want to play, but I'm just going to eliminate it. Oops. Try to get this as straight as I can. Now, I know we'll have to come over. I've got a great idea for this build. I try to always play a little differently every time. I don't build the same farm, don't use always the same barns. There are a couple barns like I use that are some of my favorites, and I'll show you those. But I try to vary it up a little bit every time. We're going to start out. I'm not too concerned with being super straight right now, because we'll be adding some stuff, and we'll just see how much room we'll actually need. So right now, just kind of getting a rough idea. Keep it fairly straight. And part of my unrealistic play is that, as I mentioned, I'm a big John Deere fan, and there are a lot of cool John Deere mods in this game. So I always have way too many tractors, more than I know what to do with. But they're fun to have, and that's why you see I start out with so much money. Now this farm, I do plan on not only grain crops, but also having some animals. So this is what we've got so far. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to add some barns. Now, I'll show you one of my favorite mods as far as barns and sheds go. This one here is a 100 by 240. Lots of space in this barn. Plenty of room. There's two versions. One with this one, with the door, a big door on the end, and then two side doors. We're going to use this mod. And we are going to bring it right up here. Now I got to watch out for those poles. We want to give ourselves enough space there. And that looks pretty good. Place that barn there. And here's the second version of the same barn. Two big end doors. So that's perfect. And what we're going to do, we're going to lay it side by side here. And that looked pretty straight, guys. Oops, I want to come over here and make sure I'm not hitting a pole. And make sure that when my door's open, I'm not hitting the pole. That looks like it's pretty good. I want to leave a little space in between. There we go. That one is set. Okay, now every farm, let's see, what else can we put in here? Every farm you need a good workshop. So we're going to come over here to our tools, take a look at some of the workshops we got. This barn here I really like. I'll show you, it's got big doors, it's got the shop inside, it's got a John Deere flag, right after my heart. So we are going to get this set. You know what? I don't think I'm going to put that one there. I'm thinking about putting it over here. So we've got the side doors there. Don't want to block that. Did we have any doors? No doors over there, but we don't have any back doors either. Okay, that's good. Maybe we'll slide it right over here. Because I got an idea what I want to put up here. Now I do like to have space, kind of like a landing zone where I can move equipment and kind of have a good workspace. Let's put this barn right here. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, and then, let's see. I like this one. Let's see if we can incorporate this one. So this has got another workshop in it. Did we have a door on the back? Hope I'm not making anybody dizzy or seasick with all my spinning here. But if we were to put it like that, maybe set it back a little bit, guys. Give us a good work area. Alright. Now, we've got this one here. Now, I like this one too, because it's got the office. It's got lots of good space inside. And I don't know if we'll be able to see the office from here. Yeah, I guess that's that little. So, what we'll do, I'm thinking of putting it right up here. So that when you come in on the main drive, you run right into our main office here. So, wow, we've got a lot of storage space and barn space right now. Alright, looking good though. Let's see if there's anything else interesting we can. Oh, a maintenance shop. Yeah, another John Deere flag. I do like this barn. Big door there. Lots of storage. Actually, one I want to take a look at here. Is this the one we... No, this one's got another one with an office too. And it looks like a wash bay. Storage. Huh. What to do, what to do. I think for our needs... Gosh, I do like that John Deere flag there. That big open workspace. But I think this is our guy right here. And we are going to set this. Set this kind of catty corner to our shop right there. Make sure it is straight. Always find a straight line that I can line it up with. Yep, that looks good. Move it over. I'm always thinking about moving equipment around. There. So this is our main farm. Now, we're missing some things, right? What's every farm gotta have? We gotta have some silos. Now, I'm just looking. I know I'm gonna need some more space. So, we're gonna come down. And we are going to paint some more. Find our grass. Zoom in a little bit. I like to preserve as much farmland as I can. But I know the silo I want to use is really big. And I got some other things that we're going to want to place. So, alright get all that grass on there. Cover up those green beans. Wow, that was a straight line. Holy cow, I can't even believe I did that. I'm glad I got this captured on video. Alright, let's see if we saved ourselves enough room. We're gonna come up to, oops. There we go. You'll see me smash a lot of buttons and miss a lot of menus. We're gonna go to our silos. I'm gonna scroll down here. I've already modded a silo that I like to use. We're a big farm, we need a big silo. And now I modded two things. It's not that one because mine all say modded. And I'll show you guys later when we start. When I show you how to mod your mods. Oops, I don't want to do that. Some of the things I do, best practices, how to do it. I modded this in two ways. Not only does it hold 25 million in crops, but I also modified how fast it can fill a trailer. Because it's just slow. Oops, gotta get this guy straight. Again, finding that straight road there that I can kind of line up against. See how straight I am. There, I think we got it. That's probably about as good as it's gonna get. So, I'm just looking because I know what I want to do. So I am going to back it right up to the beans. We're actually going to need a little more room, but I like it pretty close to the road. Thinking about our semi-drivers coming off the road, and there we go. Got that. Now, oh, careful, don't walk out in the street without looking both ways. So we're going to head over. Okay, so we got this. Now, I like to have an access road too behind, so I got to make some room there. Alright, so we got our grass there. And we are going to... That's too bad I had such a straight line there. Let's see if I can do it again. Oops. Nope. I'm all over the place on that one. Oh, that's sad. Now, well, we can always straighten it up. I'm going to go all the way up. Alright. So we'll have an access road there. Now, what else does a good farm need? Well, I like to have a corn dryer. So we're going to come over to factories. And I know there is one. I think this is the one. Yeah, this is the one I like to use right here. Make sure this is straight. Yep, that looks pretty straight. I like to have an access road between the corn dryer and the silos. And I kind of like to line them up, have everything where you drop the crop. There, that looks pretty good there. Now, there are some common things that I always like to do in all my builds, and I'll show you guys. One thing, I always set my silos up kind of the same way. I found this cool mod, and I know it's down at the bottom here. Not all the way though. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find it here quick. Alright. Should be right up here. Maybe it wasn't as close to the bottom as I thought. Okay, yep, we're starting to run into it here, I think. Yes, right here. I love this mod. You'll see, let me get it turned around. This will actually hold your corn headers so that they're not laying all over the place. I think very unrealistic, but they're really handy for storage, conserving space. Now, it looks pretty straight. Put one there. I actually use two because I know I'm going to have a couple of combines. So, two combines, that's 4 headers right there at least. Kind of line that up. Boom. Alright. Now, we've got another shed I like to use right here. And I'll show you why. There's so much building to do right in the beginning to get your farm started the way you want. Now we'll play some where we, I like this barn here. We'll play some more realistic where we actually take over a farm and use the existing without building. Obviously I'm building something very unrealistic, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that right here. I like to have this shed here where I keep a telehandler for the heads so that I can maneuver and gotta leave myself enough room where I use a telehandler to put the heads on the holders there. Let's see. I think that gives me enough room. I like this because this is a nice little shed. We don't need a big one right here. But it's also an RTK base station where it sends out the GPS signal, helps your AI helpers be more precise, drive faster, do the work better. Now, it says it does. Whether it really does in the game, I don't know. I'd like to think it would. Another thing I like to put back here are my, let's see, my bunker silos. And again, there's some bunker silos I like to use. Similar to that one. Let's see, you can see I've got so many mods in here. Sometimes it's a pain to have to go through them all. Do I use them all? No. They're nice to have. I'm one of those guys. You can guess I'm probably how I am in real life. Yes, I'm a pack rat. Because I find some cool stuff and I'll say, I don't know that I need it, but if I ever did, I have it. Wait. That's not the one. That's way too big for our needs there. There is a large flat one like that. Not a drive-through. With lights on it that I like. That's another thing you'll see. I like lights. I do a lot of work at night on my farms, and I like to add lights. You'll see my farm's always lit up like a Christmas tree. And I'm looking for this bunker silo. I forget where it's at. It's obviously down here, really far apparently. We'll find it. I think these are maybe it. They look kind of like it. No, but I don't see the lights. Yeah, this is the one. This is the bunker silo I like. And we're gonna plop. I like to always have a little space between everything. So we got a little space there. Back this up. Actually, we can probably back this up all the way because we don't need an access road to run behind the bunker silo. So I'll put it there. And I like to have two. Make sure they're lined up. A little space between. Bam. 2 bunker silos. Alright. Now, another thing we do, I love, I do a lot of animals, love the cows, and I love making my own food for the cows. And so I have modded some mixing stations where we'll produce silage and TMR, which is what the cows eat. And let me see. I modded them to work faster and hold more inputs. So I mod everything too. You'll see. Alright, so those are the. Yep, here they are. Okay, so I've got forage and silage. Okay, I've got pig food too. I typically don't do pigs. Sometimes I do. We might do them. The animals I like to do are cows. I love the sheep and horses. I also do chickens for the eggs. So we're gonna put this one in first. And I always pay attention to where the triggers are. So there's a trigger on the side, that's where you fill, and this is where you drop off. So let's see, make sure it's straight. That looked pretty straight. Leave a little space between. Kind of line it up where those drop-offs match. Place that one there. Then our TMR station, we are going to place lined up. Right there. Cool. Alright, so we're off to the races here. We'll do a little bit more. I know this has been kind of a long one, but building is always the longest sessions getting started until you get into the real farming. So, we'll back out of that. Now what else do we need? We're going to come over to our tools. Or was it under container? Might be under container. There is a shed I like to have. Well, we'll need a bale shed too. Actually, let's do that first with all of our storages here. Let's get us a bale shed. I like to keep bales. And I believe they're all under silos. So we're gonna come down a little bit. You know, I kind of go fast through these menus. I know what I'm looking for. And I can recognize. Alright, so here we got some bale storages. Cotton, wool, and down. Nope. I primarily just keep hay and straw. So those are a little much. Oh, I've modded these. But still, just need storage for hay and straw. I like that, but it's kind of small. But you know what? I don't use a lot of bales anyway. Let's just see what else we've got. I always use different bale storages just to see. I haven't found one that I'm truly in love with yet. Always check to your storage capabilities and how you play. Sometimes, you know, I've got a silo that holds 16 million liters for crops. You may not need one that big. The first year, I typically don't. I'm not selling my crops. I usually store them and then produce. You know, get all my production facilities and do the blockchain, producing different products. So I usually store my first. Yeah, this is bigger. Bales and pallets. Alright. So that one looks a little crooked starting out, so we're gonna adjust that, fix that. Okay, so we are gonna have a little space and set that there. Now, we also need a spot to store our loose straw, because we're gonna need a lot of straw, a lot of hay too. Because not only are we using it to feed the animals, we're also mixing it for TMR. And I know exactly what I'm looking for this. We can find it amidst all of my silos here. Holy cow. It's got to be up here. There's a specific barn I use to, yep, right here, because it's got a lot of storage. Now, this barn's got 3 versions. You got a metal silo, you got a concrete silo, and then you got a hay loft. You know, I kind of like the one with the metal silo. And we're going to place that here. Sometimes I like to set this in kind of an interesting spot, you know, make it look like it's a holdover from an original farm. But we're not going to be worried too much with that today. I'm just going to get it set up, kind of put it in line with the rest of my storages. So there we go. We've got that. Now, there's one more. Oops. I was a little hasty with that. There's one more I do like to use, and I think it's under containers. There is a shed for your herbicides and fertilizer that I like to use. You can get tanks to use and fill. I kind of like this shed. It's pretty cool. And I'll show you guys. It's not that one. I think it's down toward the bottom here, I think. Yeah, this one right here. Oop. No, don't want to do that. There we go. They call it a phytosanitary shed. So there's our places to store our liquids. Now, I kind of like to... You know what, actually I'm going to turn this around and you'll see why. Because I like the office portion, the shed closer to the road. So I don't know. I'm thinking maybe place it right there. I still got room to sneak around my barns with some equipment. Obviously won't be driving the combines with full headers through there, but that's alright. There's no reason to do that, so there's that. Now, we also need some utility stuff. So we've got a grain dryer that runs on propane. So we gotta find a propane tank. And there's one I like to use that's pretty cool. If I can find it. Once again, going through propane station right there. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this around. Have it face that way. Make sure we get it straight. Let's see here. That looks pretty straight, right? Yeah. So we are gonna set that right there. And then we also need a place to fill our diesel. Let's see, find a good... We're a big farm, so I like to find a nice big storage tank. And I think that might be it right there. Diesel fillings. Yeah, we're going to use this one. So, there. Let's see here, find our triggers. Okay, there's that. And I think, oh, that's where we fill up. So we're going to put that on the same side as our propane. Bam! And that's where we'll fill up our propane. Or our diesel. Right there. Alright. Well, I think this has been long enough. I don't want to bore you guys. I want to leave you enough with wanting some more. The next time we come back, we'll be building our house. We've got most of our farm buildings set here and our utilities. And we'll get that we'll finish that up. And we'll start to get into buying our equipment too. You'll see what I like to use, the mods I've got, and my love for John Deere. Like I said, we'll try and vary it up, use some different equipment, but John Deere is going to be our main horse. All right, I enjoyed being here with you guys today. Again, I want to give another shout out to my boys Drake, Brooks, Crew, and Ronan. I hope you guys are having fun in school today. Hey, smash that like button. Send me a comment. Again, my email, if you want to use email, is jdtommyt3@gmail.com. Leave me a comment here and tell me what you think. Tell me how I can improve. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you dislike. I'm open to all comments. I'll try to respond to them all. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time.